One of the biggest moves at the 2022 NBA trade deadline saw a surprising deal between the Sacramento Kings and the Indiana Pacers, with Domantas Sabonis being sent to the Kings and guards Buddy Hield and Tyrese Haliburton going back to Indiana. And the biggest name in this trade is not who you think it is. We're going to talk today about Tyrese Haliburton and what he is able to do for the Indiana Pacers. With the season split between the two teams, Haliburton is going off. He's averaging 15 points, 7.8 assists per game, while also filling up the defensive statistics for the Pacers. Now, he's a pass-first point guard, and that would appeal to any self-identified purist. Haliburton combines a floor general's mentality and the nuance of pace and position with a big frame normally associated with the wing. In terms of his break-it-down individual handle and ability/desire to create space and isolation, Haliburton doesn't have the mentality, moves, muscle, or speed to do that regularly. However, it gives him weapons around him, free reign, and plenty of movement, and he will pick his way through with excellent passing vision and rhythm, as we've seen thus far in 7 games with the Pacers. Haliburton plays with pace on an otherwise slow Pacers team, no pun intended. Well, he's in favor of bringing it into the front court with immediate intent to get things going. On top of all that size, length, confidence, and IQ, the dude has also NBA range on his jump shot from off, hitting 41.5% from 3 range on his young career despite shooting from further and further away. Put simply, the dude is averaging 20 and 10 while carving through with some of the best defensive teams in the NBA in just his first year and a half in the league. If that description of Haliburton sounds familiar, it might be because he is near enough describes his new teammate Malcom Brogdon too, and Brogdon has noticed. There does, however, exist one fundamental, insurmountable difference between the two. Haliburton is, as of today, 22 years old. Brogdon, meanwhile, is 29. And the Pacers, time and time again, have proved they are not going to tank or they are not going to go down the road of rebuilding. Quite honestly, when they rebuild, it is by mistake. It is like they make decisions based on immediate impact by a featured player, such as Malcom Brogdon 3 years ago when they got him in a sign and trade. But injuries have been a defining feature of Brogdon's time with the Pacers so far. Managing only 110 combined regular season games across his first 2 Indiana seasons, Brogdon has only managed a 50% attendance record in this one as well. And while he has been an excellent, solid quality starter when available, including cracking the 20 points per game mark last season, that availability has often been found wanting. So let's consider the frequent absences also suffered by TJ Warren, Miles Turner, and until traded, Caris LeVert. The Pacers' reluctant slide back into the lottery has been unavoidable, considering also that Brogdon is about to turn 30, and now that they have their ready-made young replacement in tow to potentially move on from Brogdon in the offseason. Now don't get me wrong, Brogdon does still have some strong trade value, even with all the injuries, but there is of course the other option, that is pairing the two up front for at least one more season. Both have the nuance to make it work, but Brogdon will have suitors, and the Pacers, with Duarte ready for a bigger role and likely a top 10 pick upcoming, will have a reason to deal. And by that time, the trade value for Brogdon will have fallen. In my opinion, Brogdon should be moved because he simply doesn't align with the rebuild. He'll turn 30 in December, meaning he'll be past his peak when the younger Pacers enter theirs. And while that not be a moot given unlikely nature of a team remaining together for 5 or more years in the modern era, it's still probably unwise to waste a talented player like Brogdon on a team that won't compete for a championship with him, especially when you can swap him for additional assets, allowing less valuable veterans to show Indiana's youngsters the ropes. Well, for better or worse, Brogdon is under the Pacers' control. He just signed a 2-year, $45 million extension last summer, which means he's signed to Indiana through 2025 with no player option. And if any NBA player learned from the disaster that was in Ben Simmons holding out on his trade to move to a different team, it's probably unlikely that Brogdon would hold out as well. So let's ask ourselves this question. Which team would be the best fit as a trade partner for the Indiana Pacers? I'm going to go with the New York Knicks. And of course, the New York will be mentioned as a destination for Brogdon, as they haven't had a consistent and legitimate starting point guard in decades. Further, after experiencing success in 2020-21, New York is starving for more. The benefit of dealing with the Knicks is that they have a good deal of draft capital and lots of short-term and/or expiring deals. Now, to achieve $22.6 million in outgoing salary, the Knicks would probably likely include Evan Fournier, although that's unlikely given the length of his contract. Now, from a salary perspective, an Alex Burks, Kemba Walker, Emmanuel Quickley deal is probably more likely. Remember, Walker will be expiring next season. The Knicks will probably be hesitant to move on from Quickley, but they'll have to give up something for Brogdon. But those three alone won't get it done. Indiana will demand draft picks too. Now, fortunately for the Knicks, all of theirs and then some. If the Knicks are willing to part with 2 future picks, at least one of which being a first rounder, that would probably get the deal done, especially if that first rounder is their own 2022 first round pick. So you guys, in the comment section, let me know where you think the destination is for Malcom Brogdon. I really think it's going to be the New York Knicks. I just don't see him staying in Indiana given his current age at 29. And tomorrow, we'll be back better than ever with some more Indiana Pacers basketball. But until then, you already know, I'll save y'all a seat. Peace.